fellas, welcome to episode 4 of Hardcore Team Deathmatch. I've got to apologize, it's been a while since I last posted, but I've been spending more time on Twitch these days, and so I just haven't had as much time to devote to my YouTube channel. By the way, I'd encourage you, if you get a chance, go ahead and subscribe to me on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/TheOneCrazedGamer. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Now let's get back to the game. As you can see from the loadout, I'm carrying the ICR-7, and I'm also running with Nomad. As you know, if you're watching my earlier videos, I really like Nomad for Hardcore Team Deathmatch. I love the combination of the mesh mines and the puppies. Love the puppies, except when I'm running with guys, too many guys that are running with cold-blooded. Then the dog isn't really quite that effective, but overall for most games, Nomad has been, basically my loadout of choice.
We're pulled ahead.
Now this was one of my first better, higher quality games of Black Ops 4. I ended up going 19-4, which really isn't too bad, especially for where I was in the game at this time. If you know, a lot of my games start out a little bit slow, and then they kind of pick up the pace as I get an idea of where the opposing team is, where they're at the map, where they're spawning. And so this game is no exception. You're going to see it takes me a little while. And overall, there's not a lot of excitement to this game. I pretty much just keep plugging away, end up as the highest scoring player on my team. But there's nothing really exciting, nothing compelling, no really big score streaks. I think I get a hell strike at some point in the match. But overall, it's just kind of a slow, methodical, do what needs to get done in order to get basically a high KDR. And you see I've ended up basically in the winery here, kind of on what I would say the left side of the map. And for me personally, I prefer the winery over the other side of the map. A lot of guys seem to love playing in the chapel over there, going up into the bell tower, hanging out in there and tearing each other up. I've had much more success, given my style of play, hanging out in the winery and basically flipping back and forth between the two spawns. There's a lot of spawn flipping in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, probably a lot more than I noticed in Call of Duty World War II. And so basically you just got to recognize that that's what's going to happen and protect yourself from the spawn flip and move appropriately between the two sides of the map. And so you can see that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not necessarily big on blowing into the other team's spawn. Personally, I hate when I'm sitting there and I spawn in and I immediately get blasted. I at least like to give guys a chance, spawn in and run up to my gun and then get blasted. But to sit there and basically spawn trap you and spawn kill you has never really been my cup of tea. I hate when it happens to me. And to be perfectly honest, there's not a lot of challenge in it, and I don't really enjoy doing it to guys on the other team. So, I'll set transform, I'll put mines out, I'll get score streaks up the wazoo, I'll do all sorts of things. But really, spawn trapping just doesn't do it for me. Now, like I said earlier, well, maybe I didn't quite say it this way, but clearly the winery is my preferred campground, much more than the chapel. And that's exactly what I'm doing at this stage in the game. I'm really trying to protect the score streak I've got going here. Ideally to get a high KDR, which has kind of been my goal for YouTube channels ever since I started, and YouTube videos, is really to get those score streaks. And basically that's what, for me personally, really can boost my KDR. I'm not necessarily the world's best, fastest running gunner, so you're not really going to see me all that often with an SMG or a shotgun and running with gung-ho and just bombing through guys. There are a lot of guys have their sensitivity cranked like through the roof. And to be perfectly honest, when I watch some of those guys, or I even play that way, and I have like my sensitivity set up on my control that high, it makes me nauseous. I don't know how guys do it. Clearly it gives you an advantage if you want to spin on somebody that's shooting you from the back or the side. And maybe that's all the reason I like hardcore, because there's not that much option for somebody. They're either going to kill you or they're not. And it really doesn't rely on, your speed and ability to spin on somebody and recover from a shot in the back.
UAV available for tasking.
Now, having said that, hardcore is interesting because it really does all come down to either how fast can you shoot, how fast you draw or shoot on a guy, or are you already aimed? So when somebody comes into range and you see him, all you have to do is pull the trigger because you're already aiming down the sight. So a lot of times my favorite loadout on a gun or assault rifle in particular is to run with grip and quick draw. Gives me the combination of, you know, accuracy, and quick draw gives me the speed. If I'm not already aiming down the sights, that I can quickly pull the gun up on sights and get the kill. As you can see, I got a pretty good kill streak running right now. I haven't really been keeping track, so I'm not sure exactly where I stand, but clearly what I'm trying to do right now is protect that kill streak, because my ultimate goal is to get one of the higher value score streak awards so I can really do some real damage. Now, camping out all day there is not the greatest plan. As a guy comes running through, I just couldn't swing fast enough. That goes back to the sensitivity. I tend to play with high. I think in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, I got my controller set to only to 6. I can't imagine what some of the other guys are playing with, but that seems to work for me. I got a combination of, I want some speed, but I also like, I don't know, the stability of keeping my gun on target and not having it jitter all around when I move the controller. So if I go to higher sensitivity than 6, I end up basically missing a lot of shots, or I'll get a lot of hit markers but won't be able to finish off the kill. There you go. That's what I thought. I got a hell strike. I don't think I get too many kills. There's 3 of them there. But I get 1. Yeah, I think I only ended up with 1 kill out of the hell strike.
Hostiles have destroyed your UAV.
And I think that's going to be it. I'm probably running with the default score streaks right now, so I don't think I get enough to actually get the chopper. But like I said, this game was really, slow and steady wins the game. So I have a decent number of kills for each of the 4 or 5 lives I have in this game, but nothing, earth-shaking, nothing too phenomenal. But that's, really all it takes to win a team deathmatch. You don't really have to fully destroy the other team. You just have to keep plugging away, making, reasonable KDRs with each of the lives that you're given. So there's not a lot left here as I close out the match. You see here, I hear a guy coming up, trying to shoot me in the back, but I missed the kill. Not sure how I missed that one. I knew he was coming because I could hear him. So that was my third death, and surprisingly, I know there's another guy here. Don't see him. He takes me out. So you basically just saw 2 of my 4 deaths in this match right there at the end. So as this game comes to a close, like I said, there's not a whole lot more here. I really encourage you, if you want to see me live, I'm working through, basically, I'm trying to complete all of the challenges in Black Ops 4. I've never managed to finish any of the Call of Duty games and finish all of the challenges. The Ninja Challenge always gives me some grief. The one where you have to get, basically you have to be the last guy alive and search and destroy 5 times and actually defuse the bomb while basically the enemy team is still alive and kicking. That one always throws me for a loop. I managed to get 2 or 3 of them, but have never managed to finish off, like I said, all the challenges. So you can watch me live on Twitch. Again, twitch.tv/TheOneCrazeGamer. I encourage you, if you want to see me playing the game live, basically see some of my crappier games, come join me. Thanks, and thanks for watching.